Hi, everybody. Good morning. Meteorologist Travis Kleneski here on this Tuesday morning. It's pretty quiet this morning. The only thing we're kind of keeping an eye on, there are some storms down across parts of southeastern Kansas and Oklahoma this morning, and it's brought a lot of blow-off clouds, those upper-level clouds across southeastern areas this morning, right in here. But as you go farther to the north, the clouds are not as thick. In fact, there's a lot more sunshine early this morning, a few areas of fog up north, and a couple of low clouds here to the west. But eventually, we get lots of sun today. Wind's not a big issue. We've got high pressure. You can kind of see it circulating right in here this afternoon at 5 p.m. around the Yankton, South Dakota area or so, somewhere between Yankton and O'Neill. It's more of an easterly wind here, becomes more southerly out west, maybe a little breezier right in here. As you get farther away from that high, it tends to get a little bit breezier. But most of us, the winds don't look too bad out there today. Overnight tonight looks pretty quiet until after midnight. Then we start to see some increasing clouds again from the south and maybe a few showers starting to roll in, possibly even isolated thunderstorms, although no severe weather expected. A few more hit or miss showers with the best chances tomorrow in the southeast. But as we get further into the day tomorrow, some chances do develop out towards the west. Maybe even later in the day, maybe a few cracks of thunder or some lightning and thunder out there here and there, but not expecting severe weather at this point for your Wednesday. Wednesday evening, still a few showers and isolated thunderstorms remain as a cold front will slide southeast through our area. That front should be right in here in southeast Nebraska by early Thursday morning. Behind it, maybe a few trailing showers, but these will eventually dissipate, and we'll kind of look for skies to go from mostly cloudy early to partly sunny later in the day. Winds will be breezy behind that front. They'll be out of the north-northwest, and they'll be gusting up to as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour Thursday afternoon, and it will be a little cooler on Thursday as well. Now, highs today, very close to average for this time of the year, in the mid to upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. This is a pretty typical day for April 29th. We'll dip back into the 40s for the most part tonight, maybe a few spots near 50 in the southeast. Tomorrow, staying kind of cool in the east with the thicker clouds, 60s here, but some low and even mid 70s where the rain chances aren't quite as good until later in the day. But then, of course, I mentioned that cold front with that front coming in from the west. Temperatures in the panhandle not as warm. Tomorrow night into Thursday morning, we're looking at lows down into the 40s and lower 50s. And then as we jump ahead to your Thursday, most of us will settle with highs in the 60s, some places near 70 in southeast Nebraska. As we look at the forecast then for Thursday night and Friday morning, we're talking about low temperatures in the 30s and 40s, so a little chillier, especially as you go towards western areas. And then as we jump ahead to your Friday, we're looking at highs mostly again in the 60s out there. So the next several days to come, not any big fluctuations. Most of these highs are close to average for this time of the year. We will see a bit of a warm-up as we get into the weekend. So let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. First, the next 3 days for the Tri-Cities here again. Pretty uniform temperatures the next few days. There's that 50-50 shot at a few showers, maybe some lightning and thunder later in the day, wrapping up by early Thursday morning. Temperatures, again, staying in the 60s on Friday. There's a small chance of rain early Friday morning, but not a great chance. Otherwise, as we get into the weekend, still mostly dry. It does warm up this weekend. A lot more wind by Sunday and into Monday. Those winds will be stronger, and we'll have some return chances of rain and thunderstorms possible Sunday and especially Monday. We'll have to watch next week. Now, timing and things like that is still quite questionable, but it is looking like a slightly more favorable setup for maybe some severe weather, maybe a little bit more towards next Tuesday. Beyond the 7-day forecast here. It does look warmer though as we get into next week as high temperatures settle mostly into the low to mid 70s. So no massive fluctuations temperature wise, just a little bit of a warm up as we get into next week. As we look at the North Platte forecast, now there's a few fluctuations here and there. Slightly warmer tomorrow, less of a chance of rain till later in the day, and then cooling back down Thursday and Friday. Then we'll warm it up over the weekend. A little windier on Sunday. Monday, a rain chance returning. The winds will stay strong. And it looks like we kind of settle into the 70s for most of next week, although maybe a slight cool down as the week goes on, but nothing significant at this point, as it looks like we're still going to be looking at above average temperatures as we get towards the 6th through the 12th of May. So we're likely to stay in that above average range, which would put us up into at least the 70s, if not warmer, during that time frame. And we're looking to keep some moisture chances around our forecast as well in that Tuesday, May 6th through Monday, May 12th time frame, as the Climate Prediction Center has us at above average during that time frame. Let's take a look at some of the long-range models. The European model, rain chances returning late tonight and into tomorrow, favoring southeastern areas, but then spreading a little farther west later in the day with that cold front. The chances there will pick up a little bit, that front, and pushing through, and we'll dry things out. Maybe another slight chance of rain again Thursday night and Friday morning. included that small chance. I probably should include it for North Platte as well, but it's just not a good chance. I don't think we'll see much anyway. Then as we get towards the weekend, we kind of stay dry into the weekend. Maybe Sunday a chance. Sunday, not a great chance, though the GFS is a little more aggressive than this model is. The European's not. But then Monday and Tuesday, we start to see some rain and thunderstorm chances returning. This may mean potentially some severe weather. I'd be watching that Tuesday time frame there, perhaps down the road beyond that as well. But we'll see. There are some question marks with things because the forecast models have been pretty inconsistent and not matching each other really well for next week. Here's the GFS model. Again, here comes the rain tonight into tomorrow morning, favoring southeastern areas. And then western areas get in on the action as a cold front comes through late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Clears out Thursday morning. Another small chance Thursday night to Friday morning. And then we're pretty dry Saturday. Sunday, a chance returns. Monday, maybe a better chance of rain and thunderstorms, and that chance could continue to Tuesday. I'd be watching that right there as we get towards Monday night into Tuesday for perhaps maybe better chances of severe weather. And, depending on how things play out, this model is very different than the European model that could keep rain chances around through most of next week. But the GFS is very different than the European model. The GFS has that low pressure center much farther north than the European model does. So there are a lot of question marks right now here. So, well, that is all I have for you for today. I'm going to be gone these next 3 days, so you'll have to rely on meteorologist Luke Prokosh for the latest in this forecast here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, and of course David Stoltz in the evening hours, the afternoon evening hours as well. But otherwise, I will be back with you next Monday to bring your latest forecast and maybe talk some severe weather. We'll see. Until then, hope you have a good rest of your week and a good weekend as well. Take care, and God bless. Bye.